Welcome back, guys. This is just a real short update. The last video I showed you some cracks on the front of these parts here and possibly running the back. I used a lost focus. I used my battery operated soldering iron, and what I did is I just took some of my scrap PLA. It's good to have your scraps around, and I heated this up across the crack and then added more PLA by hand and just smoothed it in with the iron layer by layer until this is actually quite thick on there. I don't need the screw anymore because with this resealed, I guess, I actually had to use a pair of big pliers to press fit that nut in. The same with this one here. I don't know if we can see this here. Oh, just with my phone. Yeah, looks like a big mess of bubblegum. And really that's just some pink PLA mushed into the blue and laid on pretty heavily. There's actually about 3 pieces wide of 1.75 millimeter, or yeah, basically the ends of PLA that got cut off when I was making the PLA go through the hot end on my Fabricator Mini. I keep that around for fixing things like this. Anyhow, both of those are fixed, so I can move on to the next steps. Something just going to take a minute here to go over. Those of you familiar with ramps, is it going to focus? Yep. Know that there's a 12 volt auxiliary that comes off right there. So I soldered a socket onto it and then used an extension header. The outside pins give me a ground and a 12 volt, so I can later put a case fan above this right here, but it's also got a split running off it so that I can bring it over here to a repaired MOSFET module. It came with a bad surface mount LED, so I just added my own. And what this will do is allow, let's see if that'll focus again. Probably not. Here, let's try and get you down like that. Maybe it'll focus this time. Alright, that should focus there. Perfect. Alright, so this little board here, it's just a little FET module. I had them lying around from working on the PWM mode of my laser, and I'm going to use this just to do the PWM of the not the part cooling fan, because that's coming off of this. Oh yeah, for switching in a little bit of PWM on the hot end cooling fan. The hot end will be cooled separately from the part cooling fan, because default in ramps, the part cooling fan comes off of, I believe, D9. Could be wrong, but I believe the fan is D9. If not, it's D8. But anyhow, this will let me drive the hot end's fan, the cooling fan on the hot end, turn it off and on at certain speeds, slow out, get up to temperature quicker. The Fabricator Mini uses this on its MKS board. All I've done is basically added a FET and use one of the expansion pins over there. Yeah, where's it go? The purple. Yeah, here it goes. It comes up on what would be one of the servo pins that's not being used. So I just went into Marlin and set that to, it'll control the hot end fan. And now that I got that set up, all I have to do, right, is wire, put the end on the thermistor, get the leads ready, hooked up to that. One of the things I did on the last little while, but I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video, that's a piece of vinyl tubing that has been heated up and threaded onto the end of the rod, and then heated up and pushed onto the stepper. It's kind of self-centering. I thought this one was a little bit crooked and would have to do it yesterday, but I've noticed after sitting overnight it's gone perfectly centered. So we'll see how that goes in operation. I might still have to order some fancy aluminum couplers. Maybe not. Might have to use a different type of rubber. Anyhow, that's my intermediate update. We'll call this one 10.5 because it's mostly fixes and getting ready. Because the next step is wiring and then trying to get some PLA to print. Oh no, geez, I keep forgetting. I have to mount the extruder motor onto the shoulder up here somehow. And I have to do it so that it clears the end of this motor. So it's going on there somewhere. Have had some of the fellas here tell me mount it on the right hand side. So maybe I will. Maybe. We'll see. Anyhow, next video should be the extruder motor mounted and then trying to get some PLA through the hot end. So, got any question or comments, put them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.